Hello, my name is Dan McGonigal and I'm with DECRA. I lead the oil and gas segment for DECRA, and I'm excited to be here today talking to David Musgrave and Rajni Walia. We're going to learn a little bit more about human organizational performance and what's going on at the leading edge of that space. Do you mind introducing yourselves?
Sure. Go ahead, Raj.
All right, happy to. Rajni Walia, I look after our work in artificial intelligence as well as lead implementations in human and organizational performance.
Nice.
And I am David Musgrave. I look after thought leadership and innovation. So good to talk with you both.
So David, Rajni, thank you for being with us. We're excited to learn about what's going on in human organizational performance, or as it's often referred to as HOP. David, can you talk to us a little bit about how HOP has evolved over the years and where it is today?
Sure. I think a lot of people look at HOP as being sort of a brand new thing that's really come out recently. It's really been evolving. You know, you can go trace it all the way back to the 40s, really. But it's really come into its own within the last 15 years or so. What is HOP? So human organizational performance is really all about how can we equip leaders and team members to get things right more often. So it really isn't about avoiding errors, it's really about planning for success is really what HOP is about. So here at DECRA we get into all the kind of neuroscience behind that, the psychology, any of the motivational sciences really, that would have folks, whether they're in a team working together or they're working solo, together driving a truck or in a plant or whatever, how do they actually make their way each day to keeping safe while they do their job? I would add as well, HOP would really encompass everything from safety, quality, efficiencies. So it's not just about safety, it's about, hey, let's do things right the first time. And base that all in really applicable science that makes sense in the field.
That's really exciting. Along those lines, one of the things I hear you talk about often is how HOP is so related to driving precision in high hazard industries. I've also seen it really help with driving consistency across various sites that do things differently. And as we think about the work that we're doing with clients, Rajni, can you talk a little bit about what we're doing in the space with our clients?
Absolutely, happy to, Dan. So we do a lot of implementations, and so the implementation could look differently at every level. So if you look at the executive level, we help educate them around HOP principles and how to infuse them and inject them into their organization. So it could be how they're communicating about production, and like David said, it has applicability and quality across every facet really. So we help them understand what it is, what the pain points are, and how to communicate them and help alleviate, I guess, any kind of HOP related injuries or things that can come up. And so that level is purely educational. And then at the lower level, so you move to the supervisor level, at that level we're helping them, what we say, control some of these human and organizational performance issues that might come up. So for example, you mentioned driving. So if I have a fleet of drivers, I want to communicate to them how visual recognition can impact their ability when they're driving and how distractions can impact their ability. So as a supervisor, we teach them how to facilitate conversation so that they can then get that message down to the front line. And at the frontline level, it's all about decision science, right? So how our decision making is impacted by different errors that we have in the human brain. So our human brains, while they're awesome, they are designed to help, they're designed to make mistakes. And so we need to understand what those are so that we can overcome them. Because a lot of it's really providing like an owner's manual for how the human brain operates. And once you get that, then you're alert and you can actually make better decisions. So that's how we've sort of at the different levels.
That's fantastic. And I know a lot of times when we work with clients, there's a big appetite that employees have for learning about how the brain works. And one of those offerings we often work with is making safe decisions. It's my understanding that we've got some updates coming for making safe decisions. David, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're always updating any of the tools in our shed, so to speak. So always keeping those up to date for kind of today's workforce, but also to integrate the latest science on planet Earth. And so we're doing some really neat things, including video-based launches. So companies with a global flavor will be able to better kind of immediately have information go out globally in multiple languages to their teams. So improvements made there. Just integrating new science into what we're doing so that when folks, whether they're leaders or whether they're teams level folks, are coming through an educative process with us, what they're hearing is the latest and greatest, so to speak, around how to keep kind of as optimally safe as possible. And we also do what is I would call my favorite part of all of this is really bringing supervisors and frontline people together. So this is often done in a sort of huddle format where there's some video content, some e-learning content as well if you choose. But the key is really bringing supervisors in conversation together with their teams so that everybody's on the same page around this particular type of hazard we call brain-centered hazard. So things like Rajni mentioned, fatigue, distraction, just operating from habits, things like that, that are actually linked to most of the incidents that a company would have, whereas most companies are super focused on the physical blade that can cut you or the electricity that can zap you, which makes total sense. We should keep doing that, keep that focus in place. But it's one step before that. It's sort of the precursor to, hey, I missed that blade. Hey, I missed that electricity. That I didn't catch that today. And that's actually what's led to incidents. So the way that we've crafted our solutions, which are custom tailored to every single client that we have, so lots of their video, lots of their imagery, lots of their people featured in any of the work that we do. So we provide the science and the foundation, and then the client really brings the magic, as we say.
That's really exciting, and the engagements I've been involved in, it's fun to see how clients really take the solution and make it their own. And so thank you for sharing that. And thank you for your time, David and Rajni. We're really excited about where human organizational performance is going. And if there's any needs or interests that you might have in the area, please connect with us at DECRA. Thank you.